Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 7 summer beauty hacks. These beauty hacks are a mixture of DIY recipes, makeup, beauty, and hair hacks. So if you guys are interested, be sure to keep on watching. So in the summer, it can be really hot and sticky, and sometimes you just don't really want to go out with a full face of makeup because it's going to melt off anyway, especially if you live in Florida like I do. So for this DIY recipe, I'm going to show you guys how to make your own BB cream at home using some of the products that you already own. So for my DIY BB cream, you only need 2 ingredients, your favorite foundation as well as your moisturizer of choice. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation, and this is in the color Tan Deep Honey, if you guys can see that. For my moisturizer, I'm going to be using my Calendula cream. I love this moisturizer. It's very moisturizing and at the same time light, and it's also oil-free, so it's perfect for oily skin. So I'm going to take my Tarte foundation. I'm going to mix it, put a little bit on my hand. And when you're doing this, the more foundation that you use, the more coverage you're going to have. So you can kind of control the amount of coverage based upon how much foundation that you add. And then I'm going to take my moisturizer and put a little bit of that down. You want the ratio to be more moisturizer than foundation. And then just take your foundation brush and mix it together. And that's pretty much it. You just apply it to your skin like this, and there you go. You've made your own BB cream. Next up in the DIY category, my second summer beauty hack is how to make your own DIY baby powder. Now, I know a lot of people incorporate baby powder in their routine just daily, but especially in the summer to stay dry because you're constantly sweating and it's really sticky outside. The only downside is that a lot of research has come out to show that the talc found in baby powder can actually be linked with ovarian cancer. So I did some research, I found some natural alternatives, so I'll show you guys a few recipes based on what I found. So for the natural baby powder, you have 2 options. You can use Kaolin clay or organic arrowroot. I got these both at my local supermarket, but you can also find them in the health food store. Out of the 2 options, I actually prefer the arrowroot to the Kaolin clay just because the arrowroot really resembles baby powder the most. It's very fine and the consistency is the closest to baby powder in my opinion. So this DIY recipe is super simple. You basically just take your powder, and you can definitely leave it as is, or if you want to take it up a notch, you can add your own fragrance. So I'm going to be adding some lavender essential oil, and I'm just going to add a few drops and mix it in. Now you don't need a lot, so I'm going to start off with 2 drops, mix it in, and see how I like it and see if I need to add any more. So I'm pretty happy with the way it smells after 2 drops. Another way to use this baby powder is actually as a dry shampoo. And that's one of the reasons why I prefer using it over the Kaolin clay. Just because the Kaolin clay, when used as a dry shampoo, can kind of be cakey and doesn't really fall out of the hair very easy. So I just prefer the arrowroot just as a all-purpose for both baby powder, dry shampoo, and whatever else I want to use it for. Then once you've mixed your powder together, you can put it into a container. This is just a salt and pepper shaker. You can also use an old spice container. Just clean it out and then fill it up with your powder. So this is the final product. Another tip, say if you're traveling, you can always put some parchment paper or some clear plastic wrap underneath and then twist the top on. That way it's not shaking all over the place. But I think this powder is awesome. It definitely works to help absorb the moisture in this summer heat. And then you basically, if you would prefer to try the Kaolin clay, you would repeat the same process. So mix in, you can use it as is or mix in your favorite fragrance or essential oil. So let me know what you guys think. Next up in the DIY category is my DIY body scrub. Body scrubs are very helpful, especially in the summer months, being that we're wearing a lot of shorts and dresses and bathing suits, which means that we're doing a lot of shaving, waxing, and basically removing hair. One thing that helps a lot before you shave is by using a scrub. It helps to exfoliate that top layer of dead skin, making sure that you can get a closer shave. It's also good to use afterwards because it helps to prevent some ingrown hairs. So this is one ingredient that I use in my scrub, and I'll show you guys the recipe. So your materials, you're going to need a bowl, some sugar, Epsom salt, your oil of choice. I'm going to use jojoba oil. And then your essential oil of choice, I'm going to be using rose. So I'm going to start by adding about a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt. The reason why I like using Epsom salt is that I appreciate its healing properties, and it also makes the scrub a little bit more abrasive. Just because if you only use a sugar scrub, it may not be as abrasive as you need to kind of really get in and exfoliate that top layer of skin. So now that we've added the Epsom salt, we're then going to move on to the sugar. I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup to a 1/3 cup of sugar, just depending on how much scrub that you want to make at a time. So here's a 1/2 cup of sugar. I'm going to mix it in slowly. That way, if I find that I get the right consistency without putting the whole 1/2 cup, then I'll stop with that. So I'm really liking this consistency, so I think I'm going to stop with that. So I probably added about a 1/3 cup of sugar. And again, you can change the consistency based on how abrasive you want it. The more salt you add, the more abrasive it'll be. The more sugar, the less abrasive it'll be. So next up, I'm going to mix in our oils. I have these really cute beakers. So I'm going to start with a 1/4 tablespoon of oil. And again, depending on the consistency, decide if I want to add more or not. And the benefit of adding the oil is that in addition to the exfoliation, you also get something that is moisturizing to the skin as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add another 1/4 tablespoon. So in total, I will have added 1/2 tablespoon of the jojoba oil. So this consistency is perfect for my needs, so I'm going to stop here. So again, I added a 1/4 cup of Epsom salt, about a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and 1/2 tablespoon of the jojoba oil. Now to add fragrance, I'm going to use rose oil. You can use any essential oil of your choice. You can use lavender, eucalyptus, spearmint, whatever you prefer. And I'm going to put about 3 to 4 drops of the rose oil. Once you have finished fully mixing that in, then you're going to just put your scrub into whatever container that you like. This is the container that I usually use, and I just keep in the shower for whenever I'm ready to use it. So this is the final product, guys. Be sure to try it out for yourself and let me know how you like it. Since we are on the topic of hair removal, my 4th summer body hack is using a clay mask. Now, a clay mask is good for a lot of things. It helps for your skin if you do experience breakouts. It helps to dry them up. But one added benefit is that it also helps to prevent and treat ingrown hairs. So this is my favorite clay mask. This is the Skin Essentials Ocean Clay Mask. I like this mask because it's very gentle. Some other clay masks can be very drying, so you can't really use them every day, or you can't even really use them multiple times a week because it really dehydrates the skin. But this I can use as a spot treatment overnight, like say if I do have a breakout, or like I said, if you are removing hair, it helps to prevent the ingrown hairs. So basically you put it on the skin. I would recommend using it like say after you shave or you wax, kind of as a follow-up treatment in the days to come. And the same way that it helps to purge your skin and purge your pores when applied to the face, it does the same thing to the hairs. So as the hairs grow in, it helps to pull them to the surface and prevent them from being caught, causing an ingrown hair. So this can be used as a preventative treatment to prevent the ingrown hairs, like I said, just using it on either a day-to-day basis, or if you want to use it every other day. Or if you already have an ingrown hair, it helps to pull the hair towards the surface and also decrease any inflammation, basically making it so that you have very clear, smooth skin. So to use this, basically, like I said, after you shave or wax, you can apply it to the area, leave it on for 15 to 20 minutes, rinse it off. You can go to sleep with it. I personally wouldn't go to sleep with it on larger areas, like say if you're waxing or shaving your arms or your legs, just because it will get everywhere. But if it's a smaller area like your underarms or say your bikini line or something like that, you definitely can put it on overnight and then just rinse it off in the morning. Definitely look into this if you guys are interested. So like using small headbands or these head wraps like these. So this is one that I have, and I'll give you guys some styling ideas. So you can wrap it around your head like this. Bring this around, tie it into a knot like so.